version feels pretty good. Boom. What is up, everyone? MTG Dad back for another deck tech and gameplay. So today I wanted to talk about the updated Luke Skywalker deck. So I have tested this deck out a lot more. I've also considered results from a recent big tournament where Luke did really well. So let's pull that up real quick so we can compare the two. So my deck is going to be very similar to this list. So just to kind of explain things, and I also listened to a interview where he talked about some of the card choices and some changes that he would make and what felt good, and kind of applied it to what I feel like feels good and things like that. So I think the biggest change from my previous list is going to be the Luke's lightsaber, the 3 devotion, the fleet lieutenant and wing leader, the takedowns, and then the home ones in the main board are like stand out at the top. So this list is very consistent. So I kind of trimmed things, and I think he said he was going to make similar changes, and some of it was because he couldn't get the cards. So so we'll just talk about it from my perspective now. So basically, turn 1 you want to get Alliance Dispatcher or R2-D2. Those are your best turn 1 plays. Put a shield on it. So Alliance Dispatcher, obviously you can go into Echo-based Defender turn 2 and put a shield on it. Or you can go into Kanan straight away, which is crazy, or shield on Yoda. Those are like your ideal early plays. The Luke's lightsaber is incredible for really ideally you want to use it on the Luke turn. So like an ideal play is to, on turn 4, when you have 5 resources, you play a resupply. So you wait to play resupply to kind of bait your opponent so that you sneak Luke out. And then once you deploy Luke, you attack in, kill a thing with Luke, or at least put damage on it, and then you play Luke's lightsaber on top of Luke. So this heals Luke's damage, puts a shield on it, makes it a 7/8, and you can also put a shield on another unit that you already had in play. So like preferably like a Kanan, or even an Echo-based Defender if it's already out. So how to explain this? The reason I like this list better than the previous list that I was playing is because this list plays a little more aggressively. The fleet lieutenants, the wing leaders, really help you close the game out. And then this list has really good plays to close the game out. So I mean, you're looking at Luke, U-Wing, Redemption, and Home 1 as your closers. So like the early plays are all great. You have your Sentinel with Echo Base. You have your Battlefield Marine to either go face or attack in. You have your Devotion to gain Restore 2, which I love this card. I had it in my Luke Blue list, so it makes so much sense for it to be in this particular list, along with all the other subtle life gain that we have with Yoda and Kanan. So endgame, and what makes this list so great, is not only can it be aggressive with the plays that you have with the shields, with the fleet lieutenants, the wing leaders, with Luke coming out, and with getting Luke Skywalker, the unit out a turn early, but when you get to the end of the game, U-Wing reinforcement is nuts because a lot of times you're going to be able to play 3 units. You can play like an R2 and an Obi-Wan, for example. You can play Battlefield Marine, Restored, and an Echo-based Defender. You like Obi-Wan? You like the Skywalker? You got it? Sorry. And then Redemption, of course, is great just for those aggro matchups. Even against like Boba, it's great just to be able to play a Sentinel because people forget it's a Sentinel, and then to gain that 8 life, or to even gain life and heal damage from your base or your units, and then put a shield on it with Luke. Ideally, Home 1 is basically, in my mind, like another version of U-Wing reinforcement that gives all of your units Restore 2. Because basically you're playing for 8 resources, you're playing a 7/7 flyer that has Restore 2 that gives everything Restore 1, and then you get to play a unit from your discard pile that costs 3 less. So basically, you can play everything from Wing Leader, Fleet Lieutenant, Echo Base Defender for free. So at that point in the game, most of the time, depending on the situation, you're probably just getting either Echo Base Defender for a Sentinel. If you have 9 resources, you're getting the Bright Hope. The other option is you're just getting a Fleet Lieutenant to close the game out and attack with something right away, which is nuts. If you have 12 resources, for example, you can get a Luke Skywalker back. So basically what this does, this helps you in those long games, those control matchups. It makes you a pain in the butt for control to deal with because they can't keep wiping the board. They only have 3 board wipes. In my version, I'm playing 2 Bombing Run, 2 Super Laser Blast, and then probably a 3rd Super Laser Blast in the sideboard. So, in the sideboard it's going to be different. But when you get to the sideboarding, what you're doing is you're bringing in 3 Vigilance and the 2 Restock, so you're going to play the mill game. You can play that game too, except you're a more aggressive deck. So you become like more of a mid-range deck when that happens. So Vader is definitely beatable. I think it's still a tough matchup. Absolutely, it's a very tough deck to play against. But because we have cheap units, we can squeeze in multiple units. You don't want to overcommit to the board. You have Luke, if it can stick on the Luke turn. You have U-Wing Reinforcement to resupply your board with 3 units. They have to have another board wipe. You have Redemption to heal and as a Sentinel in the air. So if you have another unit on the ground, this becomes great because when they have like the Avenger out, you can play Redemption, put a cheap unit on the ground, so that even if they're playing Redemption or attacking with the Redemption every turn, you're just getting rid of your cheap unit, keeping Redemption alive. And they have to attack into Redemption. If you're able to put a shield on a Redemption, even better. Then you're going to take out their Avenger. Home 1, like I said, is like another U-Wing Reinforcement. Basically just like, give me back the unit from the discard pile that I need at the time. That makes the most sense. So against aggro, you're gonna beat aggro the majority of the time. I mean, you have so much life gain built in. You have strong units. You're playing green. I mean, you have ramp with Alliance Dispatcher to get into those bigger things quicker. You have 9 Sentinels. You have shields. You have life gain, and you have redemption and home 1 if you get that far in the game where you didn't close it out yet. Aggro is a very favorable matchup. Your toughest matchups are going to be Boba and Darth Vader. Boba is definitely winnable as well. You just have to play it correctly. So Boba, I think you really got to play the Bright Hope on the same turn that they play Fet's Fire Spray. Ideally put a shield on it so that it can take multiple hits. You kind of want to sneak out resupply on this, either on the same turn that they play a resupply or on like turn 4 to sneak out your Luke Skywalker and start attacking in and put a shield on things. So that's also a very winnable matchup. The guy here that got to 4th place, he beat 5 Boba Fett's in that tournament. So if that gives you any point of reference, like that's not a matchup that he was intimidated by. Actually, I think he was like, whatever, fine, I'll play him again and beat him again. It was kind of like one of the more favorable matchups for him. I think to get to that point where you're beating Boba Fett 5 times, or 5-0 against Boba Fett in a big tournament, you have to play this deck a lot. But that just shows you that this deck has so much potential just to beat that. And like I said, Vader is very winnable too. You just have to play it correctly. You can't be afraid of control or intimidated by it. You're going to get frustrated. They're going to kill all your units for a while, but then you got to remember you're getting up to these big spells here that are going to be hard for them to deal with. I mean, you have so in Magic, for example, Collected Company is one of the hardest cards for control to play against, and that's basically what U-Wing Reinforcement is. I'm getting to put 3 units on the board instead of 2. Collected Company was only 2 units. So that's a huge factor. So we're gonna get into a couple games on Carabas against real people with this deck to show you what I'm talking about and to see how it does. Okay, so up against Vader blue here, so one of our more difficult matchups. So I actually think that might be a mistake, because usually I want to play something in the air turn 1 if possible, so they can't force choke it. So hopefully they don't have the force choke here. And it looks like they have the force choke. So immediately pay for that mistake. 3 resupplies. You don't see that very often. I mean, I don't see a reason why not to resupply here, because Fleet Lieutenant doesn't get any value, and Fleet Lieutenant's a card we want later on to help us close the game out. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, in the long run, this game's going to take a while, so us getting to our bigger, higher counts of resources is good, because then we can play more units per turn, which is what we're going to need to do to win this matchup. Alliance Dispatcher's good. Could almost resupply here again. Chilton, okay. So that they spent all their resources to do that. Yeah, so we're going to play Fleet Lieutenant and Alliance Dispatcher here, and put a shield on Alliance Dispatcher, so that we can play Luke next turn. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, whoops. I had a pass, don't I? Yeah, it'd be nice if it was like blinking, like, hey, remember to pass. Okay. Obi-Wan here, or Luke. I think it's definitely Luke, right? Gonna resource either. Probably just resupply, right? Yeah. So I have as many units as possible. So what we do here is we attack in with Fleet Lieutenant. Okay, so he killed our dispatcher, so never mind. So next turn we will attack him with Fleet Lieutenant so that Luke can kill Chilton. Yeah, Devotion is not that good in this matchup because we're just trying to keep units on the board. We don't really care about gaining life that much. So that's definitely a card like you sideboard out. Okay, so we're going to attack him with Fleet Lieutenant here, then play Luke. Could have deployed that card last turn, but I didn't want them to have a way to use it. And we're going to attack with it this turn. We weren't going to attack with it last turn into Chilton, so might as well keep it undeployed to protect it, because they might still have a way to kill it. No, we're not going to take 7 damage on our Luke. We'll just let him draw the 3. But, you know, the downfall of that, of course, is that they will most undoubtedly have Super Laser Blast. Okay, so definitely attacking in here. Chilton, or attacking into Chilton. So then we'll bring down Luke and take out Chilton. Okay, he has Power to the Dark Side, so he's had all the answers so far. But you know, the thing with the decks like this is you can't let that get to you, because that's what their deck is supposed to do. But eventually they're going to run out of answers, so you just got to keep putting pressure on them. Attack in when you can. You got to make sure you have more than one unit on the board, clearly. So just like I said, you're going to be resourcing a lot of stuff. Later in the game, you're going to be using like R2s and Alliances as Avenger fodder, so that you can protect the bigger units from Avenger. So this is a good... Hopefully this is the turn we can get in for some damage here. Trying to decide between Obi-Wan, because it's expensive. But it is decent against Vader, so that's why I'm keeping it. Yoda is not as good. And doesn't put out a bunch of damage. We're trying to put out as much damage as we can. So we want things with 4 power. So there's the Vanquish that we were hoping not to see. Like I said, he's had all the answers so far. Every turn he's had an answer. But that's okay. The good thing about Luke is that we have a really, really good way of refilling up our board after our board's been taken out. So we're chomping away at his life slowly here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. It's a little risky if he hits the Super Laser Blast, but he's hit everything on curve right now, so it might be a bad choice, but we'll see. Oh, this is me again forgetting to pass. Yeah, like I said, this okay. It does light up green, so I got to pay attention to that. All right. So if he Super Laser Blasts us here, then we're just going to play Kanan and Yoda. So that we have 2 units on board for the impending Avenger. There you go. Our opponent has drawn perfect thus far this game. Okay, so we got the Kanan and the Yoda. He brings out Vader. He goes... Yeah, what's he doing here? Is he killing Kanan? Putting 2 on Yoda. He killed Yoda. That's a weird choice. To take less damage, I guess. We got to draw a card too. I don't know. Not sure why he did that. I think that was a misplay. So R2 is really good Avenger fodder here. Trying to decide if I want to resource anything here. Redemption could be useful because it's a Sentinel if he has Avenger on curve. So yeah, we're going to keep everything because it's all units. Alright, we're immediately just going to go face. We're not worried about Vader. If he wants to attack into our Kanan, he can. And then if he plays Avenger to kill Kanan, then what we're going to do is just play 2 units for next turn so that we can kill Vader with Luke, and then we can play, yep, there you go. Like I said, this guy's drawing perfect this game. So we're going to play Luke here, kill Vader, and then we're going to play R2. So that worked out pretty well for us. Luke is an amazing unit. So R2's that's also good fodder. Battlefield Marine is good fodder for Avenger each turn. So Redemption might actually be pretty huge here. Could get rid of one of these Redemptions as a resource. Looks like hold on to it for right now. So we might need it. We might need both of them to slow down Avengers damage incoming. See what he does first. If he goes face, that's actually ideal because then we get rid of R2, then we play another unit. Okay, we're just waiting on our opponent to decide what to do here. Okay, he went face, so we're going to get rid of R2. Attacking with Luke, so we can get in for damage first. Got them to 18 damage now. Alright, Luke is gone, so I'm going to play Obi-Wan Battlefield, because we want to have 2 units each turn. Okay, he claimed the initiative with 7 resources. That's interesting. Home 1 is nice. I think we can get rid of one of these redemptions now, just to get it up to the 10 resources, because we want to ideally get up to 12 resources so we can use Home 1 to get back a Luke Skywalker, which is disgusting, and will most undoubtedly win us the game. I mean, I think we're doing pretty good so far. We're holding tight against an Avenger, which is sweet. And we're getting closer and closer to lethal damage here, so. Okay, so we lose Battlefield. Go face first before they can play another removal spell, so we can get our damage in. Then we, okay, they played another Power of the Dark Side. Okay, so then we're going to play Redemption and Alliance Dispatcher here. So we'll go yeah, I mean, we're going to, the idea is to get up to 12 resources to use Home 1 to get a Luke. At a certain point here too, like if we can find like a Force Lieutenant soon, we'll be in really good shape, because we can just like push the damage, you know? Trying to decide if I want to heal it all here. I don't think I want to, because they're swinging in for 8. And Redemption's got such a big butt, like they're gonna have a hard time unless they have a Vanquish. They're not gonna be able to kill Redemption. Okay, so we're gonna put a shield on Redemption, which is disgusting. Okay, there's the Fleet Lieutenant I was just talking about. So if they attack him with Avenger first, and we take out Alliance Dispatcher, then we actually have game, because we Fleet Lieutenant onto Redemption and we swing in for 8. And they have to swing into our Sentinel Redemption, which is absolutely amazing. And one of the reasons why I play 2 is for this exact situation, where Avenger has to swing into Redemption and it cannot kill it, especially with a shield. And then Redemption is a big unit swinging in for 8 damage here. Normally 6 damage, which is still a big amount. I love Redemption, man. I love the 2 Redemption and the 2 Home 1. They both are just such good closers. Like Redemption against aggro is like heal 8 life, good luck, and then shield it if I'm lucky enough. And like they're not gonna, you know, that's a big swing when we're already gaining life all game. And then against control, this exact reason, they swing into it. We didn't even take a hit, we just lose a shield, which means they have to swing into it 2 more times. But it doesn't matter because we had the Fleet Lieutenant, so good game. So that kind of just shows you like how, you know, you can beat Vader. So very winnable. Okay, up against Boba Fett here. We got the Alliance Dispatcher. So no, you're not going to mulligan. Battlefield good too. Redemption is really good against them. So if we're not playing Battlefield Marine, I think we can resource Obi-Wan safely. A little bit of a nuisance for them to deal with because they can't kill it with Greedo or Viper Probe Droids. Could ambush in and kill our Alliance Dispatcher, but they did not. Just fine. Alright, so if they resupply this turn, Bright Hope is really important in this matchup. I mean, I think we gotta push and go for right now, as much as I don't want to. So he smacked off her shield. Let's get Yoda down. Or we could play Bright Hope. Doesn't feel bad. Actually, I think I like that. Do I want to save the Alliance? Kind of. We get to draw a card, yeah. Because it. So. Alright. Echo-based Defender's good. Consortium's good. We're gonna have 4 resources here. I think we can let Yoda go at this point. So here we're probably gonna just attack in first. Okay, attack to the crafty smuggler. So we just let Alliance Dispatcher take a hit here. Or we just pass to him, let him do a thing, or do play Consortium? Let's play Consortium. With the intention of taking the initiative. Okay, he attacked in. He hasn't played anything, so we can just play Alliance. If he wants to ECL something for that, yeah, that's totally... Okay, cool. Figured that was coming. Okay. Could be worse. Okay, so here's the turn where we're gonna try to sneak in Luke, kill a thing, and then where the R2s go. So we're gonna do the resupply Luke Saber thing here. I'm just gonna go face. Surprise. Thing, okay. Okay. So we just let him down a little bit. He's still got 3 more units to attack in. Do we play resupply or echo-based defender here? I think we're going the resupply thing. See what he does. Okay. He's killing Consortium, okay. Okay. Just gonna take his leader out here. Obi-Wan on R2. Bright Hope is good, Devotion's good. I think we could, so if we don't play Obi-Wan, we can go Echo, Bright Hope. Yeah, I think Devotion's too important. Vader coming in for 5, okay. So, okay, kills Vader, okay, cool. So, you want Obi-Wan here? Yes. Just go face. Yeah, we're claiming initiative. We're gonna play Devotion here and start gaining some life. Play Echo Base. First, this thing we're gonna do is play Echo Base. Okay, I don't think we need a resupply. Okay. Let's just go face. Shield on Obi-Wan. He attacks with who? He waylays Obi-Wan, okay. It's fine. So then we play... Player 2-1, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, so he realized that the writing was on the wall. So that's how you play that matchup. You kind of sneak in the resupply to hit him with a Luke, and then you play the Luke's lightsaber. Ideally, Bright Hope is really important. It's slowing down their flyers, and then you start taking over the game with your life gain. So their gears are going to get about to 20 damage-ish, and then from there you kind of start taking over. So, so that's 2 games in a row now where we've beaten our most difficult opponents pretty handily, and aggro is one of our go-to. So the one change I made is I put Consortium in the main board just to give me that extra edge against aggro decks and Boba, just to give me that extra little bit of life gain, just to help me edge out those aggro decks that just kind of can hit you for a bunch of damage in one turn, and then for Boba, just when it gets those super aggressive starts and Fet's Fire Sprays, just having that 3/3 flyer in the air has been a little bit better for me than Wing Leader. Wing Leader is nice and everything, but Waylay is a thing. So like every time you play Wing Leader on, you know, one of your 2 units, because you're not going wide in this deck most of the time. So like unless you have like a U-Wing reinforcement. So in an aggro deck you can Wing Leader something and you have 3 or 4 other units here, like whatever, if they waylay it. But in this deck it's really hurtful when you get waylaid, so or it's more impactful. So that's why I was like, you know what, I just want Consortium in here, because I miss it when it's not in here, and Wing Leader I never feel like it does enough. Fleet Lieutenant's amazing, however. So I sideboarded in Jedi Lightsaber. I would say it's either between that or Forces 1, but just to help as like a couple of cards more to sideboard. You could also put the Colonel, a couple of Colonel in there just to help. And also the Colonel gives you a couple more units to go wide against control. But really against control, you're you're bringing in like 3 Vigilance, 3 Vanquish, 2 Restock. And that's, you know, those are the cards you're bringing in against them. So I think a couple cards for aggro is fine. But those are like the 3 choices. So right now I just really like Jedi Lightsaber because it fits my theme of like making my weaker units really strong, and then just being able to attack into Boba Fett with a lot of things and just kill it, and it doesn't do that much damage to me. It's only going to do 2 damage to me. That's just huge. So I really like Jedi Lightsaber in Luke Blue, so I'm kind of glad I put it back in the sideboard. Alright, up against Han Red here. No, I like our hand. Get rid of a restore and a resupply. Redemption could come in big later on. So restore and Consortium is always good against. I think this is a discard deck, the Han Red deck. So this could be potentially very difficult. But he's using the Smuggler to get a resource, okay. Okay, he played Falcon. Okay, that's fine, I don't care. At all. Okay, so we can go. I think we're gonna get rid of R2 here. Because next turn we can resupply battlefield. Or, I'm sorry, next turn we can resupply R2. So if he kills our Consortium, I mean, he's gonna kill it regardless, right? Or he's just gonna attack it first. Could resupply here and then we can play Consortium and something else. I mean, if he wants to lose his unit, that's his choice. We're just trying to get to the later in the game. He doesn't have Ewing or Enforcement in this version of Han, so. Okay, he went face, so that's fine. Just gonna swing in with Consortium, gain her life back, and then resupply into R2-D2, I think. Okay, he did not do anything there. Alliance is not bad, and I'm actually going to switch to that. Okay, so go. He let it go this time, which is interesting. So we're gonna play resupply into Alliance Dispatcher here. So next turn we can deploy Luke, and oof. So we can play Luke the leader here, so do we just let Echo Base go? I think so, because of the 2 Lukes. With a leader here. So he kind of, you know, did the thing, killed our Alliance Dispatcher. Just smart. Could do 3 damage or cause us to discard a card. So we're just gonna go face actually. And avoid any of that. So he played his resource ability, so we're gonna play this on Luke. So unfortunately we didn't get to attack him, but it's not the right situation. Bright Hope's pretty good, but I think just gonna use Luke to take out their red 3 because that represents the ability to do the most damage here. So we'll just do that. Represent 2 big units on the board. Next turn we drop down Redemption, and I would imagine that our opponent is done, but we'll see. We're just gonna keep going face. They have less HP than us. Ouch. Oh, both cards. Wow. That stinks. Yeah, I knew it was the discard version. But at least we were able to get Luke down, so. I mean, they're pretty much in a situation where I'm not sure how they're going to recover from this. And we still got the Redemption, which is hilarious. We're still gonna play Redemption here. So it didn't work out anyways, did it? Yeah, I just think that deck is missing some tools. I think it's decent. Obviously it made top 16, but yeah, good game. I don't know how he recovers from that one. That was a good force surrender though. But I mean, I still think we were in a pretty commanding position with the units that we have on board. And if he doesn't attack him with Falcon and kill the Redemption this turn, then we'll just give it a shield. Immediately. But we'll see what he does. He activated his ability and did what? Swung at our face, okay. Shield. And then we just win unless he has a way to kill Luke. What did he even do? I don't know. Okay, yeah. Good game, good game. So that was a pretty commanding victory there. Redemption just continues to be an amazing card against aggro. Like it's such a game, such a momentum swinger. Like you cannot resource it against aggro because you can really get to it a lot earlier in this deck with resupply and Alliance Dispatcher. So you can, I mean, you can get to it on turn 5 potentially. So your 6 resource turn, or normally because of the Dispatcher and the resupply. All right. Haven't really played against this matchup before, so I'm not really sure what cards I need. feel like just being as aggressive as possible is probably good. Okay. So he takes resupply? Sure. It's fine. Okay, play Consortium here. Probably get rid of Restore. Another Spark, okay. So maybe it wasn't good to get rid of Restore. So we had something to play this turn. Yeah. 2 Spark of Rebellions in a row, it's cute. Alright, Alliance in Bright Hope. So we're getting rid of Luke's lightsaber here because our opponent likes to play the kind of like the control version of this deck. Go face. Bright Hope. Yes. Yes. Ewing is really good here. I think we're gonna get rid of Redemption. Could kill that with Battlefield. It does not seem like the worst thing ever, to be honest. I'm good with that trade all day. Okay. Just gonna go face. Play this. Shield. Dispatcher, in case we draw something good. Resupply is... it's a card. I mean, technically does the same thing, so yeah, doesn't really matter here. Okay, I'm just gonna kill Sabine. Okay, it's a 4/6. May give an experience to another unique unit. Boy. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's just keep on the pressure. I guess he made us discard. Did he have a third? Yeah, he had 3. I'm not sure. He had 3 Spark of Rebellions, I guess, to take our U-Wing? I don't know. I mean, he's already got the initiative, so he might as well just get him for damage. Yeah. Luke is sweet. So he kills our Luke, we play Luke. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, already that. Don't need Consortium at this point. Unless he gets another discard. Either way, him discarding cards from our hand is not going to our face, so Okay, Zeb kills Luke. Sure. No. Okay. What just happened? Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha. How's that taste? And Luke the leader did his job. Okay. 17. 20. 21. And pass. Echo-based defender and Yoda. I'm not gonna resource anything here. Just get a refill our hand since we've been playing against a guy who's been discarding our cards all game. So if he doesn't kill Luke immediately, then we just win the game. Command does damage equal to its power, so he's gonna kill Luke. Okay. Command is a good card. No, he did not kill Luke. What just happened? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Good game. Okay. Don't know, but yeah, it was a good one. Just kind of did our thing, and that's, you know, that's how we want those games to go. No. Get rid of R2. Not getting rid of Vigilance. Bright Hope seems important. Definitely want R2. Getting rid of both R2s here? It's sad, but I think so. Just think that this does a better job of what we're trying to accomplish. Okay. Kanan's nice. What, Kanan or Bright Hope? I think we're probably gonna get rid of Devotion. Depends on what he does here. If he does the action, then yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got to do the action, right? I like Kanan here. I like all the life gain. If he does the action, we just play Echo Base, and then he just dies. What is he doing? Okay. Cool. I guess. I mean, do we just go face and let him trade with us? And then play Echo-based defender? Yeah, I think so. If he wants to trade, by all means. Devotion will come in handy at some point. Unless we draw like fire from our next two cards. Okay, another one. I mean, yeah, trade away. Yep. We'll take the initiative and then drop a Kanan. Could play Devotion Alliance. That help us though? It doesn't really help us that much at this point. Alliance does get us to redemption a turn earlier, but do we really need it that a turn earlier in this matchup? I don't think so. They're not like putting a ton of pressure on us yet. Just go face. Just keep putting the pressure on them. What turn does this thing flip? 6? Same turn as Luke. Okay. It's not bad. So it'll be a 4-3, his biker. If he hits it for 2 damage. He did not do. Okay. Resupply wouldn't be bad. Another echo-based defender wouldn't be bad. Just waiting on our opponent. Okay, probably StarViper here. Bright Hope is useful if they play flying units, which I would imagine that they do. Okay, so we're definitely going to go Battlefield Marine into this. Take that thing out. Kanan can take a hit from the scout bike, so I'm not too worried about that. If he goes face, then we just... see what he does. We did not get a resupply, unfortunately. That's a good card. So just damage to Kanan. Just go face. Play Bright Hope, keep the pressure on. Okay, he does 2 damage to that thing, yeah. Play Bright Hope. Pass. He goes face, he does 3 damage to Kanan. Cool. Shield on Bright Hope. Okay, we lost that. That is fine. Alright, with the Luke turn. Ooh. It's gotta be Yoda. Just go in with Bright Hope first. Force him to play a card. Okay. I think we just kill that thing. I'm gonna put a shield on Luke, kill that thing. Seems fine. Seems fine. Or we could gain 5 life. Either one. Okay. Could just give this thing. How do we undo an action? I don't even know how to do that. Is there a way to even do that? I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, so we're just gonna do shield and defeat. Defeat that. Shield that. Yes, and then we can attack him with Luke and kill that thing while it has a shield. That feels pretty good. Okay, he put a resilient on that, okay. Still it. Yeah. Just make it easy to kill with the Skywalker next turn. Waiting for our opponent here. Is he bringing out the Inquisitor, I guess? Inquisitor's what, 3/6? Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape here at the moment. See how things go. I like having vigilance. Even just that shield was useful. I felt comfortable doing the shield over the 5 life just because of the circumstances of having to deal with 7th Sister. I love 7th Sister, I just think it needs a little more supporting cast. Oh, sorry. Claim the initiative. So the question is, do we worry about 7th Sister anymore, or do we just... I think we do. I think we take it out immediately with Luke. I don't think we play around with that. The card's annoying. So he can ready 7th Sister. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. Nice. That was cool. Good combo. Okay. Don't need that. Lukes are awesome. So what's the thing that we want to take care of? Probably just the 7th Sister. I mean, if he attacks into Luke, he's just gonna die, so... Well, that's... isn't it? The fact that we have another Luke is... goes into... No, went into Luke, okay. Just gonna claim the initiative. He's going into Luke, or... Okay, he traded. Oh my god, we have all the Lukes? Or we have a giant sentinel. I think we can get rid of Bright Hope at this point. Let's just play Bright Hope. Well, let's go first. Just see what he does. Before we do anything. Okay, took away one of our shields, which is awesome. Just go over that. Okay. Cool. And we are claiming the initiative here. First thing we're doing is attacking with redemption to his face. Death Trooper can't do anything to us in the air. He can activate Death Trooper. Well, no, he can't because it'll just die. Okay, he activated that, but he just dies to... Okay, he killed our big thing. Okay, that's cool. Makes sense. It's fine. So, next thing to do is just... First thing we do is attack him with Bright Hope. Force the... Discard a card. It's gotta be that. Luke's too important. Don't need that. Since we're not gonna be able to... For Ruthless Raider to die this turn, to kill Bright Hope, let's just go first, like we said. We we're in a very commanding lead right now. We can kill the thing, yeah. Seems fine. What? Why did Luke lose? Oh, okay, because he played a death. I was like, well, how did he lose? Put a shield on Luke. Doesn't feel like the does it? No. Protects him. He attacks in. We take the initiative. I mean, he wants to get rid of Luke. Luke just closes the game out. But he doesn't know that we have another one. Okay. I think I'd rather have Devotion at this point than Restored Arc. Vigilance is sweet too. Okay, so we're going face first. Force choke. Okay. So if we play this on here, we have lethal. If we go Fleet Lieutenant on Bright Hope. Okay, so that on Bright Hope and see what he does. No, we don't have lethal, I'm sorry. Fallen Lightsabers, he's a 6/4. Okay, we're just gonna kill that. Easy choice. Easy choice. Good game, good game. Alright, got 1 can go Kanan on 2. So home 1 is gonna go and Fleet Lieutenant. Sentinel's really important against aggro. They can't ambush in, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going Kanan here, just with this current board state, like Echo Base Defender, he dies. I really hate getting rid of Echo Base Defender. Resource sometimes. Beginner 5. We cannot play Luke Skywalker. I don't know why I would even think to let us do that. Okay. Redemption is sweet. So this turn we're gonna have 5 resources essentially. Is there anything we can cheat in, or we just an Echo Base? Again, like getting rid of these top end cards just feels really bad to do. Redemption is huge in this matchup. Luke is huge in this matchup. Ewing's huge in this matchup. Consortium's good too, but all these cards are good in this matchup, so that's the least good card because we don't have the initiative. Okay. Let's go here and get him to just die. Did I not get... Okay. Play that for 3. He deploys. Field. Base, okay. He got the K2SO down. He's had a typical Sabine green curve so far, just with no ambush. Okay, so he's not... I mean, are we just... He already took the initiative? What? That's really weird. Okay. Turn 5. Get rid of Alliance here. It's an easy choice. As we have another... Which I kind of think it's going to die this turn. Because we got nothing else to do. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sure. He heroic sacrificed it in... Why did he do that? I think that was a mistake, maybe? Or maybe he forgot I had a sentinel? I don't know. Not sure what just happened. Okay. I guess I get attacked there, but whatever. Okay, we're playing Lukey Luke this turn. I don't think we need devotion with redemption and Luke. Bright Hope is still pretty important. Okay. So he just has a traitorous in his deck for some reason. Sure. I don't. That's a. He wasted a traitorous on an Alliance Dispatcher? I mean, sure, we don't get to play Luke this turn, but we get. So, not really sure about that choice. Put a shield on. Does it really matter? Okay. So definitely just get restored here. Fleet Lieutenant's really nice for closing the game out as we're getting closer and closer. So we kind of stabilized this matchup. I feel like our opponent made a misplay, but it happened. Okay. I mean, I get the thinking, but also it's 5 resources that you wasted to do that. So, like, I mean, we definitely were able to get in for a lot of damage. Okay, so he's playing U-Wing. There you go. See what he gets here. If he gets a lot of cheap units, we'll just play Luke and immediately take one of them out. If he gets a big unit, we'll just probably play Luke and then Battlefield Marine Echo Base 5. Why does he not have enough resources to play Wolf? That's... He already played Wolf. So he has Echo Base, Wolf, Battlefield. He just needs to... And this game keeps glitching out. They really need to fix this thing, man. It'd be nice too if you could see your opponent's bases like before attacking into it instead of just seeing your own base. Well, that stinks. But, I mean, based on the board state, so this turn, I mean, he looks like he was playing Echo Base Defender, Battlefield Marine, and Wolf, right? So we would have immediately played Luke, killed the Echo Base, then we would have attacked in with Luke, killed the Wolf, put a shield on Luke, attacked in with Kanan, killed the Battlefield Marine. We would have completely just wiped out his entire turn because we're already established. It's really because he played this traitorous and wasted 5 resources on that turn. So it's definitely a little bit of a different Sabine list. I'm not sure what the heroic sacrifice play was about. I'm not sure why he did that into our Echo Base Defender, but I don't know. But that's gonna do it for But yeah, to kind of wrap things up, this deck is a powerhouse, man. Like, um, I think its toughest matchups are absolutely Control. And then like Han Solo is pretty tough because they ramp up really quick too. And they have a lot of the big stuff that we play as well. So, they get their Hans the unit's really good. Um, they have home one to gain life, so that's a tough matchup. Um, aggro is generally pretty winnable, but that can be tough too, like if we don't slow them down enough. Um, so I mean, honestly, the easiest matchup has felt like Boba Fett. I don't know why. Uh, and then aggro, I would say, but it depends on what aggro it is. I would say Leia is harder because the action ability. Um, against aggro, what are you sideboarding in? I'm not really sure if you're sideboarding in anything because you really want to be as low to the ground as possible. Yeah. I mean, I like this list where it's at because of all the naturally built-in restore. The devotion felt pretty good all game, all the games. Trying to think if anything felt underwhelming. Yoda always feels underwhelming, but unfortunately, it's just not a better card. I feel like if I'm able to take out Yoda in the near future, when we get new cards, like I would want to put in like a really strong 2-drop just to kind of have another cheap unit that I can squeeze in on different turns. I feel like one of the things that happens that's awkward with this deck is like you have a lot of expensive stuff, and then that ends up backfiring some games because you just have to resource them and you can't play anything. So like home one in the games where I needed it, it was great. But then in the games where I didn't need it, it was like I'm just resourcing it because I'm just trying to survive to that turn. So redemption at least gives me that 8 health, which is super important in those aggro matchups. I almost feel like home one could be like vigilance in the main. Just put that back in. Just because it removes a thing and it gains you 5 life. It's also just good against control because I can just mill them for 5, depending on what kind of control it is. You know, I feel like Palpatine is a really tough matchup for this deck, just because the nature of Palpatine and because you're playing bigger units, it just makes it really hard because they just want to steal your big units, your Lukes, your Redemptions, your home ones, anything, which is not a good feeling. Um, but overall, yeah, I really like this list. I think it still needs some fine tuning, some tweaking. I'm just really looking forward to the next set and where it can take this deck. Because I already feel like this deck has good all around matchups. They're very tight. Like I think that's the thing I take away from this deck is like it has good all around matchups where I can play it against just about anything and have a chance. Control less of a chance, of course, and got to hit right cards. Um, Another thing that you could take out home one in the sideboard for besides vigilance is the Force is with me because it's like a pseudo removal spell. It gives your unit a shield. It also acts like a fleet lieutenant to close the game out. It puts a shield on like one of your um, bigger units that you're trying to protect, like a Obi-Wan or Luke. So I think for that reason it's nice. I think it's better in a Force deck though, so maybe that's not the right choice. I think Vigilance might be what I do for the time being, just to kind of have another like big life total swing for aggro, and then it's just good against control too, just like as a way to deal with things. And then you know, against control, I'm taking out the lightsaber and the devotion and bringing in vanquish, restock, and the other vigilance and the home ones. Um, so, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Like Carabas is like, it's super frustrating because it glitches out all the time, and like sometimes I swear like today when I was playing one, somebody a green A-wing hit me for like 10 damage by itself with nothing else happened, and then it drastically changed the course of the game, of course. There's just a lot of glitches. It's really not the greatest right now. Hopefully they fix these bugs and it gets better. Um, I know there's another one that's being worked on that somebody was working on. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's just nice to be able to play against people because playing against AI is just too easy. And they, you know, they're not making the right decisions. They misplay all the time, and then you know you win like 90% of the time. So it's just not a very good measurement of how well a deck performs. So, but that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the gameplay, and